This is Zara. You don't know her. She wasn't one of the Chibok schoolgirls. But she is one of the thousands of other girls taken by Boko Haram. Now home, her story is the story of how they're tearing communities apart. She explained how she was kidnapped by Boko Haram and taken to the notorious Sambisa forest.
They gave us a choice, to be married or to be a slave. I decided to marry.
What did getting married involve?
We lived together. I became pregnant for my husband and gave birth to a boy called Usman.
She was rescued before her son was born and kept in touch with her husband by phone before the army took it from her. It was the last time she spoke to him. Do you love your husband?
Yes.
Her family is half Muslim, half Christian. They had a vote to decide whether she should have an abortion. By a narrow majority, she was allowed to keep the baby, but it brought shame. People labelled her a Boko Haram wife, called her a criminal. They didn't want her near. They didn't like her. How did they treat your child?
They hated my child. He fell sick, and nobody took care of him. Nobody liked him.
4 nights ago, Usman, who was 9 months old, was bitten by a snake. He died. Half the family celebrated what they called God's will.
Some were happy that he died. They were happy the blood of Boko Haram had gone.
She's sad, she's angry, she's confused, she's 17. She talks of going to school and becoming a doctor. She talks of going back to the forest. She talks of becoming a suicide bomber. Not far from Zara's home are many other women with similar and terrible stories of life under Boko Haram. And how did you escape? Stories of beatings, forced marriages, suffering and now stigma.
When you're living under them, they beat you. If there's a child on your back, they even beat the child. At night, they try to rape you. You have to fight them off.
This is Damasak, another town where Boko Haram came and killed and took at least 300 children from the school. One of these men has lost his wife, the other his 7-year-old boy, to the Islamist group.
What are they fighting for? They want the government? They want the leadership or what? And it's not religion.
Chibok is all they're talking about, he said. Nobody has ever talked about how our children, girls and women were kidnapped. The crisis here in northeastern Nigeria is about far more than the Chibok girls. Thousands of people have been kidnapped or forced to live under Boko Haram. And it's not just the trauma of that or the sexual abuse that many of them suffer. It's when they come back to their communities and people at home reject them. That's the real tragedy. So many girls like Zara have been abducted. So many others are still being held. There's torment for those who wait, and there's pain for those who survive.